Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and in this video we're just going to have a bit of a talk and have a look at something that might have flown under some people's radar. So, Wargaming put on their website, this is certainly on the Wargaming EU website, I assume there's a similar one for NA and the Russian servers and so on. They put on a little article about what's coming in 2019, hurrah! And I thought it was worth having a look at it because there's some interesting bits, there's some good bits, and there's some bits that make me think, yeah, hang on, wait a minute, what? So... Oh, almost certainly they've missed out on a pun. Yes, what's coming, yes. That's true, they should have had what's, W-O-T, coming in 2019. Anyway, here's what we've got. So, in 2018, we continued our efforts to improve matchmaking and grand battles. Well, whether it was an improvement to matchmaking, I think will very much depend on who you ask, and as for grand battles, ugh. They said, we have continued our efforts to improve. Okay, they've made efforts, sure, whatever. While adding new vehicles, nations, challenges, and other breathtaking game events. That's nice. We also celebrated the 10th anniversary of the idea of World of Tanks and won our 4th Golden Joystick Award by taking home the Still Playing category for the 2nd year in a row. We're already hard at work, making great plans for the future, which we're ready to share with you. Hurrah! In 2019, we're going to solve some substantial issues with the matchmaker. Now, that sounds lovely, but bitter experience has taught me that how Wargaming thinks it's a good idea to solve substantial issues with the matchmaker and how I think it's a good idea may not be the same. And we've been here before. Wargaming have been talking about how they are solving substantial issues with the matchmaker for about 5 years at this point. Bring back the frontline mode. I mean, that's just genuinely good. I personally find that game mode a lot of fun. Fab. Introduce Swedish medium tanks alongside other new vehicles. Awesome. I'm up for that. Make clans more accessible. I'm not aware they needed to be made more accessible. And much more. Okay, cool. So firstly, well that doesn't... Okay, the first thing that they talk about doesn't even get a mention in that quick highlight. But never mind. Premium ammo rebalancing. Oh. So premium ammo has always been one of the hottest topic in World of Tanks. Hottest because heat rounds. Get it? Oh, Wargaming, you're hilarious. In World of Tanks, and over the upcoming year, we'll make a key revision to the entire mechanic. I'm listening. Current situation. So, okay, earlier this year, Wargaming decided that they were going to change premium ammo in as much as you could no longer buy it directly for gold. It was available for credits. This made essentially no difference because anyone with, you know, an iota of common sense used to buy it for credits anyway. It didn't really change anything, but never mind. So they want to call them special ammunition instead of premium or gold ammo. Well, I mean, you can call it what you damn well likes. Doesn't top it being a big pile of turd. It's does it come to school on a yellow bus? Anyway, we've been waiting for the amount of special ammo in World of Tanks to decrease, and for players to adjust to the new concept. What? Decrease? Decrease? It's done nothing of the sort. It's gone through the roof. Anyway, let me just... If I whinge about every sentence, we'll be here all day. Just to be clear, let's start off with the key reasons for rebalancing. So, people choose their ammunition based on what's happening on the battlefield. When it comes to high explosive, this is justified. HE is always going to cause some damage, but it's usually much less. So basically, HE has a tactical niche. If you're going to continually fire HE shells when you've got standard AP available, it's going to be ineffective. Yes, I agree. When a player has to choose between standard shells and special ammo, quote unquote, they focus only on armor penetration. Types of ammunition differ in characteristics, but the key factor for most players is still armor penetration. Using special ammo gives you an advantage just by spending more credits. Hurrah! Wargaming have finally acknowledged the fact that premium ammo is pay to... Sorry. Special ammo is pay to win. Hurrah! Oh my god, Frabjous Day, a revelation has been reached. It's only taken them 10 years. Anyway. I mean, oh. Okay, so. Wargaming have acknowledged the situation, better late than never, I guess. What do we want to do? Our top priority is to help players choose their ammunition loadout more consciously. We want players to evaluate the advantages of different shells and take into account the consequences of their choice. It's extremely important, above all, the new system suits you, our players. That's why we've decided to try the solution that you actively offered in your feedback on our forum. Wow. So basically they are saying that at the moment we want it to actually be a tactical decision rather than just herp derp, I'm going to spam the 2 button at everyone. Note, we'll reduce the damage output of special ammo by 25 to 30%, while their penetration will remain unchanged. The percentage of damage reduction will depend on the amount of damage per shot. The more damage per shot, the greater the percentage. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. So basically, what Wargaming are saying is, we're going to reduce the alpha damage of premium ammo. People have been suggesting this for years, and I'm not being hyperbolic about that. I mean, for the best part of a decade, people have been suggesting it. I've mentioned it on numerous occasions. Okay, so it's the last bit that interests me. Firstly, I think that is actually a sensible approach. The damage output of special ammo is being reduced. So what that means is that, let's say, if you're one of those people who loads up the gold and spams it at everything, you're going to receive less damage than if you had learned to aim your gun. So basically it's going back to rewarding skill. If you know the weak points of enemy tanks and you can penetrate them with standard ammo, then use it because you'll do more damage. The same way that if you were against a really weakly armoured target and you knew that and you loaded the HE, you'd do more damage. That makes sense to me. Okay. The last bit slightly confuses me. So the percentage of damage reduction will depend on the amount of damage per shot. The more damage per shot, the greater the percentage of reduction. So basically, if it's between 25 and 30%, let's say you've got a 100mm gun on a T62A with 320 alpha, that would receive less damage reduction than 750 alpha TD gun at the same tier. I'm not quite sure what I think about that. It seems to penalise those players with very large caliber guns more than those with small caliber guns, and I'm not quite sure why you would wish to do that. Especially, oh no, I know why you'd wish to do it. Putting my cynical hat on. So those people who are going to fire more premium shells are penalised less than those with a gun that does more damage per shot and so would fire fewer shells anyway, making it even more expensive for them. So it sounds like a really good idea until you start reading the small print, and then there are things that make you question it. Anyway, as a result, we're going to implement the following mechanics. Standard AP shells are now the most attractive in terms of cost of damage. They have high damage per shot and they are cheap, but it's harder to hit armoured vehicles, well, it's harder to penetrate armoured vehicles when using these shells. Fine. Special ammo is good for firing at armoured vehicles because of the higher chance to penetrate, but they come at a high cost. So Wargaming are not adjusting the cost of the shells and have a lower damage per shot than the standard shells. So before we move on, this means that people are going to fire even more premium ammunition, special ammo, in those situations where it is warranted. So they haven't, it's still a pay to win mechanic. If you've got, I don't know, let's say you're strolling around in your IS-3 and you come across an E100 on the enemy team. I'm just using that as an example. Player A runs a standard account and is not over brimming with credits. Player B runs a premium account, has a bunch of premium tanks and has credits coming out of the wazoo. Player A carries a very limited supply of premium ammunition, special ammunition. He fires 3 rounds of it, which is all he carries, into the lower front plate of the E100 and then gets killed by the E100 because he can't do much else. Player B has all premium ammo, or largely premium, special ammo, and fires loads of it into the lower front plate. Player B, who has more money, is at an advantage compared to player A. Now I guess you could argue that, sure, but that's going to be offset by the fact that player B, if they've got more premium ammo, will have fewer standard rounds, which might put them at a disadvantage, but most of the time that doesn't make a difference. So it's still a pay-to-win mechanic. See, Wargaming, they have these nice ideas, they can just never do something properly, can they? High explosive shells make it possible to inflict damage with a greater probability regardless of whether the vehicle is armoured or not. Yeah, that hasn't changed. What's next? We've put a lot of work into these improvements and we're excited to hear what you think. Your input is crucial as we continue to the rebalancing process of special ammo. If the feedback we receive on our proposed solution is positive, we'll release it for testing and analyse how it affects current gameplay. If all the testing steps go as planned, we will then try to adjust the cost of all shells depending on their effectiveness and how often they are chosen. Oh, so they are planning to potentially adjust the costs. But they are still planning to have special ammo cost more than AP. So this is the thing. High explosive shells have a tactically balanced use and they don't have an inflated cost, not significantly. We are well aware that these changes will significantly affect some vehicles. Don't worry, all vehicles will be evaluated individually on a case-by-case basis. In some cases it will be necessary to change the cost ratio or the characteristics of a vehicle, but it will be too impractical to look for a one-size-fits-all answer. The decision to implement this mechanic has not yet been made. We'd like to analyse your feedback, so feel free to leave all your thoughts and concerns on the forum. I plan to. Okay, so that's premium ammo. I would say very much a mixed bag. Does special ammunition need to be changed? Yes. Do I think reducing the alpha damage per shell is an approach that could work? Yes. Do I think they need to be very careful that they don't keep it being a pay-to-win mechanic? Also yes. Anyway. There's one controversial topic out of the way. Let's get into another one. Matchmaking. Booyah. A few months ago, we outlined that 2019 would be a big year for the matchmaker, so prepare for big changes coming over the next 12 months. We're all aware of the existing issues, so let's begin with a brief overview. Are we all aware? All of us. Are we? Is that right? Okay. Yeah, there's also going to be a cat mewling in the background, just bear in mind. So, evolution of change. The matchmaker's main objective has always been getting players into battle as quickly as possible. Fair enough. Ever since 2010, the various versions have valued speed as a top priority. Fair enough. As a result, we encountered the following key challenges. So-called fail platoons, which consist of vehicles that differ by more than 3 tiers. Most often it was top tiers plus low tiers in a single platoon. I'd argue, that's been fixed, but sure, that has historically been a problem. Okay, fine. A large number of SPGs in teams. Yep. Teams were getting matched in such a way that there were few opponents of your tier in battle. For example, there could be 13 tier 10s but only 2 tier 8 vehicles on your team. I never actually saw that as a particular problem, if I'm honest. But whatever. In 2017, Update 9.18 was designed to solve these issues and brought with it a template system that we're all aware of. These templates, the main ones being 357 and 510, are still in use today. The templates bear strict rules. There should not be more tanks at the top than in the middle, and no more in the middle than at the bottom. Thanks to the templates, in each battle, players had a sufficient number of enemy tanks with which they could compete on an equal footing. Even playing at the bottom of the list, you always have the same number of tanks of your tier in the opposing team. That is true, but again, personally, I never found that to be a problem. So for me, it was a solution looking for a problem, rather than a problem that needed a solution, if you see what I mean. Okay, so that is what they did. New update, new challenges. After the introduction of the template system, the battles became more acceptable. I think that's very much a matter of opinion. On the other hand, we face new serious burdens and challenges. Players rarely get matched with vehicles of their tier and 1 or 2 tiers lower. So basically, that first point is saying you're bottom tier all the damn time. This is especially true for tier 6 and 8. Yes. How it's taken you over a year to work that out, I'm not quite sure. Players with preferential play most of their battles in 510 with higher tier vehicles and are... So as a result, I love this phrase, this greatly smooths out the benefits of preferential matchmaking. Oh, the benefits have been smoothed, have they? Is that the word you wish to use? I.e., makes buying the damn thing useless. The templates in the current matchmaking architect are strict, so they cannot quickly adapt to the queue evolution, creating these issues. In other words, the matchmaker cannot analyze the queue and has no tools for operating with it dynamically. Okay. Fabulous. What will happen next? We're looking at fundamental new tools for assembling battles quickly. So, for example, templates will become more flexible. In addition to the classic 357 and 510, it's not classic. New templates may appear in order to help sort the queue. For a 2-tier battle, there may be 6, 9, and 7, 8. For a 3-tier battle, there may be 4, 5, 6, and even 5, 5, 5. Templates may also appear with a larger number of tanks in the top than in the bottom of 2-tier battles. This mainly concerns the 8-7 template for the 2-tier battles. Put simply, we'd like players to be top of the list more often. Okay, if those changes achieve that, cool. If it doesn't, then we're back to square one. Yeah, time will tell, really. There's a lot of work. Please, feedback, feedback, feedback. Frontline is coming back in the first quarter of 2019. Yay! Received a slight revamp. There's an issue with it, apparently. Oh! Okay, so basically they want to introduce, so you can still play Frontline in the same friendly atmosphere, whatever, but they also want to introduce the opportunity to fulfill interesting medium and long-term goals to keep you engaged. More importantly, Frontline will not be a short-term event, but a whole series of events throughout the year with heaps of rewards and other bonuses. Cool! Okay, I can get on board with that. Core gameplay will remain unchanged. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, excellent. So we've added more to the Frontline formula. Frontline kicks off every calendar month and will be available for a week. So it will basically be available for 1 week a month all year. Your journey through the event will last a week every month and 10 weeks in total. Okay. There are now more prestige levels. Alright. In addition to the basic rewards, players will be rewarded with special points for reaching a prestige level, using these points to purchase special reward vehicles. Oh, cool. Okay. XP and credit earn rates will remain the same. Repair and shell costs won't change either. Sweet. I mean, I really enjoyed Frontline, so I'm happy to see it back. Vehicle rebalancing. This year we've been actively working on vehicle rebalancing, adding new tanks and removing some old ones. We're now ready to take the next step. We're going to improve the vehicles that will be most affected by the rebalancing of special ammo. We'll also focus on vehicles with poor efficiency and overhaul some overpowered tanks to revise their characteristics. The following vehicles will be rebalanced first. E100, IS4, Leopard 1, STB1 and Clanvan. We're also looking at rebalancing mid-tier vehicles. This is not a complete list. We want to hear your feedback. Just a quick note here, there have been rumours going around for quite a long time that the IS4 might actually be either removed or dumped down to tier 9. So, and there might be a new tier 10 to replace it. With that in mind, I cannot guarantee that will happen, but I strongly recommend, if you have not done so already, unlock and purchase the IS4 fairly sharpish, and yeah, then you might get yourself a free tier 10 or something. You might not, but just worth mentioning. New vehicles! At this point we have no concrete plans for a new nation, although there is the possibility for it, but they want to introduce Swedish medium tanks. Cool. So that the 2 Swedish medium premium tanks in the game will actually be able to do something. Maneuverable, fast firing, accurate guns. What will really set them apart is the option to switch into siege mode. So mediums that can go into siege mode. Okay. It's too early to unveil how many vehicles will appear in the new branch or at what tier they'll start. At the very least we can say we are carefully evaluating candidates and all vehicles will be entirely historical. All vehicles will be entirely historical. It's interesting that they do actually have to say that, because there have been some interesting ahistorical designs. We're also experimenting with mechanic settings for new Swedish tanks because we'd like to make the switch to siege mode automatic. Not quite sure what that would mean. I guess you go stationary for 5 seconds, you go into siege mode, a bit like how Binos and Camonet come up if you've been stationary for a while. Interesting. Okay. New mechanics. In the near future we want to experiment with new quality mechanics. Too early to showcase any concepts as we're still working on them, blah blah blah. So I assume that's partly going to be your wheeled vehicles coming in there. In 2019 a new series of ranked battles will begin. Fine. Oh, thanks to your feedback we decided to fix several key issues. Previously a casual player had to push themselves to the limit to reach rank 15. At the same time it didn't feel enough for a seasoned player. They're reworking the entire ranking and mechanic and splitting it into 4 divisions. Well, that just sounds like very much any other sort of ELO type system. That's fine. The Ultimate Division is gold, and it's the most challenging one. Yeah, so the same as you'd have in, I don't know, League of Legends or Smite or any sort of MOBA. You have kind of diamond, gold, silver, bronze leagues. It's that idea. Okay. Clan Wars. An upcoming event for players in clans. A new British reward tank will be introduced, the T95 FV4201 Chieftain. A heavy tier 10 vehicle with a tough turret and good combination of alpha damage and DPM. Before any of you get too excited, no, this is not the Chieftain. This is a Clan Wars reward, and this is a tank with the hull of a T95 and the turret and presumably gun of the Chieftain. So you may well still want it, but it is a Clan Wars tank, bear that in mind. Bonds shop. Players now have the opportunity to purchase items, equipment and directions for bonds, and they want to add the option to purchase bonds. This is something that I am amazed it has taken so long for it to happen. They introduced this whole new currency. Clearly they want to further monetize the game. Yeah, fine. And there'll also be a list of vehicles that are available for bonds. So I'm wondering... Hang on. We'll individually evaluate each vehicle and choose a fair price for it depending on its uniqueness. As a result, a tier 10 vehicle may cost less than a tier 8, and it's possible that some very rare collectible vehicles will be offered for bonds in the future. So you know all those tanks that used to be unique, like one time only? Yeah, we'll see. Tier 10 may cost less than a tier 8. Is this going to mean you can buy tech tree machines for bonds or what? Depending on how this is done, this could be okay or it could be hideous. I'm not quite sure. We plan to add vehicles to the bond shop in 2 rounds. The first lot will appear in spring and will include more affordable vehicles. The second one will contain more exclusive tanks and will go on sale in the second half of 2019. Okay. Fundamental changes to premium account. So they want to make premium account more profitable, more convenient, but no details on what that will actually happen or what that will actually look like, and a whole bunch of new customization styles. Cool. And also a tank race, whatever that's going to involve. More information on that later following the upcoming news. I'll be interested to see how that goes. So I would say this is very much a mixed bag. Some of it I'm quite excited about, some of it I'm cautious about, let's put it like that. Been burned before, so we shall see. But it is interesting at the very least that Wargaming have acknowledged there are some problems with some of these things. Well, duh, but never mind. I guess it's a step in the right direction. Anyway, sorry for that being long and waffly. I just wanted to highlight these things for people. By all means, have a chat about them. I'm going to go on the forum at some point and, I don't know, wax lyrical about it probably, and become a keyboard warrior for 10 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys found it vaguely informative. If you did, by all means, feel free to catch some of my other channels. Oh Jesus, some of my other videos, and I will catch you guys in another one. Ciao, ciao.